This is Roster Castanado interviewing Harlan Lebo at the Culver City Historical Society. So now, do you still feel that Citizen Kane deserves the reputation as a classic film or one of the great classic films that it's gotten?
I think so. And I think it's as influential as ever. You can argue what might be the greatest film of all time, but it's really hard to think that Citizen Kane is anything but the most influential movie of all time. More filmmakers look to Citizen Kane and say, wow, this is why I wanted to be a filmmaker. This is what I can do with film and how I can communicate with film as an art and as entertainment and as a moneymaker. And I think that lives on.
Cool. And what was the most surprising thing that you found when you were researching for the book?
The most surprising thing was how much the script and the story and the characters were transformed by Orson Welles long after the final script was done, and how those ideas were changed literally on set often, on the fly often, working with actors just as the production went along while everything else was going along at the same time. That was the big surprise.
Can you please talk about writing the book, Citizen Kane, A Filmmaker's Journey?
It was a huge surprise to me that all the analysis, all the studies, all the articles that have been written about Citizen Kane over the years, when we got to 1990 and I was thinking about the 50th anniversary of the film, I realized there had never been a book specifically written about the production of the movie. And I thought, why not? Let's give that a shot as my next book. So we did, and I did, and that was a coffee table book. But I realized that even after the coffee table book with many photos, that there was a lot more of the story that needed to be written. So for the 75th anniversary, I wrote a much longer book, a nonfiction narrative. There was many more pages, but definitely focused on the text. And then even after that, for the 80th anniversary, so much material about the movie had come out in those 5 years that Angel City Press was willing to do an expanded edition, and we added 16,000 words to the book, and I think the story is now told the way it should be told.
Cool. Very nice. And I guess you also got to know Orson Welles as well.
Oh, no, I wish I had.
Oh, no. Oh, I see.
He passed away 4 years before I started working on all this. I would have loved to have known Orson Welles.
Cool. But who were some of the people from the film that you got to know and got to ask about their experiences with about working on Citizen Kane, if you knew any of them?
I was able to talk directly to 5 people. Ruth Warwick, who played Emily, Kane's first wife. William Allen, who was one of the production staff, but also played Thompson, the reporter who was looking for Rosebud. I talked with Dick Wilson, who was the assistant director. And I also was able to speak indirectly with Catherine Trosper, who was 101 at the time, and I was able to relay questions to her through her family. She played one of the reporters in the closing scene and was also Orson Welles' assistant at the time, which is why I wanted to talk with her, because she could talk to me about the writing of the script.
Nice. What was it like getting to talk to those people and interview those people, and what did they have to say about Citizen Kane and working on it?
Well, it was pretty much what everybody said, which was an amazing special event in their lives. They didn't realize quite how special it would be until later, but they did realize that it was a very important part of their lives and their careers, and it was like nothing they'd ever done before. And talking with William Allen, because remember in this story, he's interviewing people, and here I was sitting down and interviewing William Allen. It was like stepping into a fairy tale and becoming part of the fairy tale.
Cool. Very nice. Well, thank you for allowing me to interview.
Oh, heavens, Ross, I'm glad to.
Well, there you have it. That was Roster Castanado interviewing Harlan Lebo.